Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Coach AskZena on the Good News radio station. Hello, happy hump day. How are you today? Whew, got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Happy day before Halloween for those people who celebrate Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween. Just, I don't know. Just really don't get into Halloween that much. But I wanted to jump out and talk to you today. First of all, forgive me for sounding a little tired. I've been on fire watch pretty much all night. And if you know what's going on here in California, we have fires all over the place. We had a new fire that started up called the Easy Fire in Simi Valley. And it started around 5:36 this morning. So a lot of things are shut down. A lot of schools are shut down. A matter of fact, I just wanted to take a moment just in silence, to pay homage to the firefighters and all the people who are struggling with the fire and all of those who the fire is impacting. So we're going to do that right now. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to I know a lot of people, because I'm from California, who are severely impacted, and I work for a news organization, so I've been watching the news, so I'm a little slow today, and I haven't had my coffee, but anyway, all is well, all is well. I wasn't here last week. Sorry if you missed me. I'm back. Thank you for tuning in to the Good News radio station. Hey, you also should check out our other studio and our other station, the Good News Sports. We've got a lot of great content coming at you here from this organization. And if this is your first time tuning in, this is the AskZena radio show. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have 25 years of corporate human resources and consulting experience. I am an expert at identifying talent and building organizations, but I'm also a life coach, career coach, and spiritual coach is what I really love to do. Helping people manifest their best life. I'm all about creation, manifestation, imagination, and making stuff happen in the Asians, right? Yay! So today, I wanted to talk about dating. I'm single again. There's a lot of singles out there, and there are a lot of people who are looking for love, rightfully so. Everyone should have someone special in their life. So I found this wonderful lady, and she has a organization, a group on Facebook, and she's turned this into a business, and I love it because she is inspiring and encouraging others, and it's real talk. I mean, I'm on the group, so it's real talk. So Alana Jackson is the creator of Black Love Conscious Dating, and she's been doing this for a couple of years. Alana, come on out this morning.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let me get this turned down a little bit so that we can talk. All right. So, why did you start this group?
I started the group because I was single at the time, and I wanted to promote Black love and Black relationships. So I
Okay.
decided to start the group.
And why did you call
To
it?
also try to find me a connection.
Absolutely. Hello. And you get to pick and choose whoever's on the site, right? That's awesome. Why did you call it conscious dating?
Because I wanted to connect with like-minded people that was kind of more like aware of things and wasn't into kind of like wasn't into like organized religion or people that just were really open-minded,
Oh,
more
good.
open-minded
Good.
about certain things.
And how many members do you have?
Right now on Facebook we have like 51,000, I want to say.
Wow. That's a lot of consciousness. Wow. And is it just in the United States or is it in other places?
Well, we have members from the UK,
Okay.
Jamaica, and yeah, but most of the members are from the United States.
Wow. Okay. So I'm newly single, and what would you encourage me to do on the site?
Well, what I encourage people to do is kind of like introduce yourself, you know, be empowered about what you want.
Oh, okay.
Just put yourself out there. I mean, sometimes we might have to, not say be aggressive, but sometimes you have to, reach out to the men because for some reason they're not really reaching out to women. So sometimes you have to kind of step it up
Oh, okay.
and just reach out.
So do you find that you have a balance of men and women on the site?
Well, we have more women. I want to say we have more women. Maybe it's not half and half. It's maybe like um, we might have like 60% women and 40% men.
Okay. All right. That's still a good percentage. And then in terms of age range, what would you say the age range is?
The biggest age range is 40 to 65.
Oh, okay. So more my age group. All right. No, 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 that's good. I talk to people all the time, and I talk to women who are in bad relationships. I'm a life coach, and I help them to understand what it is they truly want, not what they're settling for. And not only what it is that they truly want, but also establishing their boundaries. Sometimes we as women we bend just a little bit too much. And one of the situations that I like to share with you and get your opinion on is I have a friend who is dealing with a situation, and it's a long distance relationship, and she's like, well, I really won't bring that up. Maybe it's something that's concerning her. And because it's long distance, they only see each other maybe once a month. And so she sort of suppresses her feelings and says, well, I won't really bring that up because I really want to have a great time with him, or I really want to have a great weekend. And then, unfortunately, months turn into years. And now this woman is quite frustrated with a lot of things that have gone on because she hasn't used her voice and she hasn't set her boundaries. What would you offer as advice to someone who is interested in dating someone long distance, and there's such a limited time to spend with one another, but you still have to be really real and authentic, and use your voice? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, I think that she should create a safe space to express herself. She should be able to communicate her wants and her needs to this person. And if she can't do that, or he's not open to that, I mean, I probably would, say to move on and find somebody local in her area.
Okay.
I mean, if she's not getting what she wants.
Sure. I think that in long distance or online dating and long distance relationships, sometimes we don't set an expectation. I mean, not an expectation like I'm going to get married in 6 months, like, but an expectation of our authentic self, really sharing who we are. The first couple of months in a relationship, it's all rosy and all pretty, and everything is nice, and people are dressing nice and smelling good. And I often say after 6 months, then we start wearing our sweatpants and our leggings and showing who we really are in our comfortable state. And what do you suggest people do in terms of just being their authentic self on your site? Like, how could you encourage a woman to express herself as authentically as she possibly is?
I would say that she probably have to write down a list of the things that she wants,
Oh,
what
good.
she's looking for in a mate, and that way, if she can always have a guide to. Okay, I have my list. This is what I'm looking for. Just so you won't have to when you meet somebody, you can say, well, let me go back to my checklist. Because sometimes when we meet somebody, we kind of like not say we forget, but we start getting like, I really want to get to know this person, so we start going off the list. And
Oh,
sometimes that's not a great thing because, we have a list for a reason. So I would just say create a list of, the things that you want. And when you meet somebody, use the list to check it off. Should I pursue this or should I just step back?
good point. My great grandmother used to tell me, she said, if you get 80% of a man, then 20% you need to work with, because you're not going to get that 100%. So I know that there are people out there who say, I have to have all of this. What are some of the things that you would advise someone to compromise on?
Um, Maybe if somebody only want to date local, I would tell them to broaden, their spectrum. Maybe go a state or two over. And maybe they're looking for a certain height or body type, something like that. I would tell them, well, if the person is not 6 feet and he's 5'10", well, he could still be a go,
Mm-hmm. Good point.
you know. So,
Good point. Some of my deal breakers. I mean, I try to be as very transparent on my show as like I refuse to date anyone who smokes. Now I know that that rules out a lot of people, but I just have terrible allergies to cigarette smoke, so I can't be around it. And I had a best friend, and he smoked. He was a closet smoker for many, many, many years, and I used to tell him, cannot come over my house and not go over your house. So that's one of my, I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but it's like a deal breaker for me. Other than that, oh, the only other deal breaker that I would have is like, and this is going to sound crazy, but someone who has way too many animals, or maybe one animal and they're not really clean. Again, I have really bad allergies, so I can't be around that. So that rules out some people. But, when you're putting stuff on your list, you also have to be conscious of those things that you can tolerate health wise or in the physical sense. So, yeah, add some of that to your list. I wanted to share a story with you. I attend Agape International Spiritual Center here now in Beverly Hills. They were in Culver City. And I remember there was a story of a woman who sang in the choir, and this man in Phoenix, Arizona, would live stream our church services. And he heard her sing, and I'm paraphrasing the story, but then within a couple of weeks, he actually drove from Phoenix to Los Angeles to attend one of the church services and found her. He fell in love with her voice. He didn't know anything about this woman, fell in love with her voice. And I think that they've been married either 5 or 8 years now. So when you talk about expanding and, moving beyond local, I mean, that love can hit people anywhere from live streaming and not knowing anything about someone and just feeling someone's spirit and wanting to take the plunge and to get to know someone a little bit better. So tell me how you encourage people on your site.
I try to do like once a week, encourage them. Well, now I'm trying to encourage everybody to create a video, a 1 minute video, because the videos get more responses than actually just, the regular posters. So I'm trying to encourage people to create a video so they can, people can actually see them instead of just creating an actual post.
Okay.
And, just encourage them to reach out to one another. Right now we have the hot seat. You can get in the hot seat where members will ask you questions, things like that. You just have to put yourself out there.
Well,
I
that's
mean, you
great. I
just
mean,
never know.
you're doing a lot of different things on this site, and that's why I wanted to bring you out. One of the things that I really, really like that you do is you pose these questions that encourage people to engage in one another and have dialogue. And the one thing that I'll have to say about the site that I really like, or the page, and we'll tell people how to get to the page shortly, is it's far more positive than I've seen some other pages. And I've been on discussion groups. I've been in, I've even been in Red Table Talks, and I have seen women pose questions like, should I continue to date this person? I mean, I even posted a question about my relationship, my former relationship, and man, the women came out and they were like, well, maybe you're the one who has flaws. Maybe, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wow, really? It's like, you don't even know me and you're just going to come at me like that. So, first of all, I want to just applaud you for keeping it very positive and encouraging your members. And I think that it is a great page for people to engage, unlike other pages where people are just unleashing their frustrations on someone who's posting a question. So with that,
Right.
I want to, you post questions all the time. Can you throw out some of the questions that you post to your members to get them engaged?
Well, right now I have been receiving a lot of inboxes about men not wanting to commit, but they still want to have relations, and that's been the biggest frustration for some women.
Mm-hmm.
Men, they're not looking for nothing serious, but they want to have casual sex. So that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
questions I posted today. And I hadn't really read none of the responses on it, but I received a lot of inboxes about it. So that's what made me ask the question.
Interesting. Interesting. I think I was on another site as a podcast host. I try to engage with a lot of different people. Not really for me. Let me just be very clear. Even though I'm newly single, I'm not accepting any applications. I'm working on me right now. So, but I do engage with other people, and I remember someone told me about a site recently, and I joined the site, and the first hit that I got was, hey, I'm here looking to meet great people and to have bomb sex. And I was like, wow, okay, thank you for being so transparent. Really appreciate that. Not interested in any sort of pieces of anything that you can offer me. So, I said next. And I literally told him that. I said, I thought that was really shallow, but I appreciate your candor. And I mean, he went in and I was like, look, we're not on the same page, nowhere near. And I then I thought about this as a coach. Why would anyone subject themselves to a piece of a person? Because that's basically what you're doing if you're just having casual sex. I mean, it's just a piece of a person. You're not getting the whole person. You're not getting the whole intimacy. You're not getting to know this person
Right.
to be able to cultivate a relationship. And why would people do that? And then I go back, and you and I have had this conversation about broken people. And, I just think that it's
I
really.
think that women have been indoctrinated to feel, because I have heard this before, a piece of man is better than no man. It has
Mm,
been ingrained in like some of our DNA.
mm,
If we want a man, if he's cheating on us, well, we still have him. If he's, not really wanting to commit, but we still can go on dates and have casual sex. So I think women have been indoctrinated to accept, well, a piece of man is better than no man. Then also, they, try to say, well, we getting older, you getting 40 plus, your chances are limited. So it's kind of like a fear tactic, I think it is, because, we have been indoctrinated to believe that it's okay. We have a piece of man and that's all we need.
good point. Good point. You are speaking to my past relationship because I'm 53 and he was 56, and Very, very, very attractive man, and well, kept himself really, really well put physically. And so when you're like 56, 60, I'm just generalizing. So, hey, get off my back. Just want to tell my audience that, sometimes we don't look as good as we did when we were 40. I mean, I'm 53. I like to call myself a little chunky monkey, but, but that's my description of me. But I had friends that were like, "Are you serious? Like, you're willing to give that up? You're not going to find anyone that's that fine or whatever." And I was like, "Wow, seriously?" But let me just take that a step further. Some of those people who said that to me try to make contact, and I was like, why would you settle for anyone's leftovers or trash that I'm throwing out? Not to say that this person is trash, because I do think highly of my ex and think that he's a great person, just wasn't good for me. But are we that thirsty? And I know I'm using that, but are we really that thirsty that we're like, well, she didn't want him and he did? Just because someone is nice looking and well put together at 56 or 60, doesn't mean that we have to throw ourselves at something. And again, that's that piece, right? When you're only thinking about something physically, then you're thinking about a piece of someone. And we are mind, body, and spirit. We are spiritual beings. We are human beings. We are physical beings, And so when we're only thinking from that perspective, we're losing sight of who we really are. So going back to what you said earlier, which I think was just so important, make a list. Make a list of what it is that you want, what you require, and what you desire. And I am really of the mindset that once you get really, really clear, then the universe will deliver. You will start to make contacts with people. We're like, oh, I never looked at you that way. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, this happened. And so I think that one of the things is definitely to make a list and know, this is really important, ladies, know that you can obtain what you desire and require, and you don't have to settle. And that goes.
And I also would suggest women creating a man funnel. Date other men. Like, treat it as a job interview. You don't just jump on the first man that's interested. You kind of like feel, make different men, talk. You don't have to have sex with these men, but the first man that comes, after you, maybe you can just create a man funnel where you have different men that's interested, and you pick the best candidate.
Oh, I love that. But now that there's some thought process around that, because people would say you're dating, so how many you're dating? But you're right. I mean, first of all, you don't have to give yourself to every man. And it should not, you should not feel bad that you went on 5 dates, 10 dates, and you still haven't had sex with him. But I love that. I love the man funnel. Okay, that's gonna be the next. I'm gonna have to try that. No, but I agree with you. I think that if you
because you won't give all your energy to just one person.
Yes.
If this man is not really trying to commit immediately, you have different. You won't be like, oh, I'm waiting on him to call. He never texts me back. You're kind of living your life and trying to pick the best candidate for your life. So I would suggest women creating a man funnel and picking the best candidate that fit in their life.
Good.
So.
No, I hadn't heard of that before, to be totally honest. So, that is an interesting concept. I mean, I've heard, well, just date people until you find the one, right? But then, what does that really mean? And then we as women sometimes give our heart way too quickly, and rather I heard this on a long time ago. It says that we take more time to shop for shoes than we do for a partner. Like,
right.
Okay, all right. I don't like shopping. I'm not a shopper. I'm just like, go get what I want and move on. With regards to the men, what do you think that the common thread is of what the men are looking for on your site?
I mean, they have some men that's looking for a long-term relationship. They really do. But they have sometimes the men looking for casual sex until they find the right person. And, but they do have some men that's looking for a commitment. but
Mm-hmm.
it's not enough of men that's looking for a commitment. It's
Mm-hmm.
more women that's looking to settle down and,
Mm-hmm.
want to get remarried or married than men.
Is that because it's just so easy for men to get a variety of women, or is it just that as they get older, they just, I heard that as they get older, they sort of value their own private space and don't want the requirements of a relationship? What do you think that that's about?
I think that men have more options, more dateable options.
Mm.
So it's kind of like it's hard to choose. If you had to choose between one and two, you could make a choice. But men have so many more options than women, dateable options. So I think that they get caught up in, I don't want to make the wrong choice because they
Mm.
have so many good candidates that they can choose from. So I'm thinking that maybe they don't want to make the wrong choice because, this woman is nice, she's eligible, she's, what I
Mm.
like, and 10 other women. So it's like they really probably don't want to make the wrong decision. And
Quantity
some
over
men, now they're into
quality.
polygamy. They want to have more than
Oh,
one
heck
woman.
no.
That's the biggest thing now. These men
Are
feel
you
like, well,
serious?
why I can be into polygamy. I can have more, or polyandry, more than one relationship with different women at the same time.
Are you talking about black
And
men?
women, they're agreeing to that.
Are you talking about black
Yep, black men.
men?
Yes, that is the new wave, polygamy. That is the new wave.
Honey, you better take that wave someplace else and don't come knocking at my door. No, I mean, you used to have to worry about the players and the this, but shoot. Oh,
They normalizing polygamy right now. They're making it like,
what?
well, you don't have to be single. You can talk to me and I can have her and y'all could be sister wives and we could raise the family together. That's the new agenda, polygamy.
Girl, Ooh, you have taught me something new today. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Well, there's thousands of dating sites, so I'm thinking like there's all these single people, but everyone says they're looking for love, but yet there's still all these single people. I'm just like, well, I guess. Woo. Okay. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless.
Well,
That's
sometimes people say they're looking for love, but they're not really doing anything. They're kind of disempowered. They're not really going out. They're not really living their life. They're just sitting and waiting. Well, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
mm,
And that kind of hinders the progress.
mm,
Because even though you're waiting, you can still go out. You can still travel. You can still meet new people. So a lot of people just dating and waiting and not really doing anything to really help
dating
themselves.
and waiting. I like that. So, I'll share a story about dating and waiting. I've known this person. He doesn't listen to my podcast, so thank goodness. But I've known this person for probably about 25 years, and we dated the first year, and it was like, yeah, it was okay. And then time just went on, and I moved to Arizona for 14 years and came back to California, and he looked me up, and my number's been the same, so he called me. But I this man has no I don't want to call him lazy, but I'm just going to call him lazy. He has no motivation whatsoever. For the last 3 years, he's tried to date me, but he lives probably about 75 miles from where I live. And it was like, well, why don't you come out to my house? No. You know, never like does anything to date me or to court me. And I know that that's an old term, but heck, shoot, send a woman a card, flowers, do something. But he'll like, well, why don't you drive up to my house and I'll cook you dinner. So one time out of the 3 years, I said that I would go, and I called before, and he was like, well, the game's coming on, and I'll cook you spaghetti and in the middle of the game. And I thought, the game is not going to end till 9. I don't eat that late. You're going to cook me spaghetti, and I'm going to sit there at your house, which is a first date in 3 years, or no, actually 15 years. And you're going to cook me spaghetti, and I'm going to sit there and watch a game with you. Like there's no motivation, but he claims it like, I really want to date you. I really want to
Right.
date you. I really want to date.
And that's
But
another
he
problem.
puts no effort in
That's
there.
another problem.
Go
I
ahead.
call that lazy dater. He's a
Yes.
lazy dater. He don't want to do anything.
Nothing.
He wants you to do everything. And a lot of men, they always say women are so masculine. But this is why, because you want us to drive to your house, you want us to plan the date, but at the same time you're looking for this feminine woman.
Mm-hmm.
But you have me in my masculine energy. I'm
Good
doing
point.
everything. So
Good
why
point.
would I want to be soft and feminine when I have to do everything? A lot of men, I call them lazy daters. They just doing the bare minimum, making a quick phone call or text. If you get a phone call, you might just get a text. So
yeah, no, he'll call.
No.
So my thing with him, and I was like, I am not. Look, I have an ocean view. Why am I going to drive to the desert for spaghetti in a basketball game? And he was like, well, I'll put gas in your car. And I was like, you putting gas in my car for me to drive to your house? No, way too much. No, not even doing it. So I blocked him. And then I got a new phone. And then I'm sharing this story with you. Then he called and he was like, why are you so angry with me? I was like, look, going forward, Zena doesn't have the same conversation, demonstrate or participate in the same actions with the same people and get the same results. I can do this all by myself. And so when you said masculine energy, I actually felt when I said that very masculine energy. And I don't want to be male and female. I don't want to have more masculine energy because I'm trying to survive in this world, in a world where men are not putting forth the effort or not doing anything, not stepping up. I have I'm going to share another story, then I want to talk about something else. I have an assistant, and he's 25 years old. This guy is so amazing to me. There's nothing. I'm his second mother at work. But I remember this literally happened yesterday. I was leaving my office and I have to park at a different lot. And he was like, oh, I'll walk with you. He was like, you left your light on in your office, and turned off my light and then closed my door and like wanted to take my bag, I was like, boy, you got some good home training. Like, do you have an older brother? He doesn't. I was like, do you have an older brother? Like, just at 25, still like really appreciates a woman. And I'm his supervisor or whatever. And you guys, come on, man, you guys got to step up. I tell men all the time, like, show us something, because you have a good woman. A good woman will show you, give you, treat you, please you, do all of those things so that you can feel like a king in a castle or anywhere. She's always going to be there to motivate you, but you guys have got to do something and not deplete your woman while she's giving to you. You have to, heck, write a Post-it note, leave it on her pillow, say, I love you, had a great night last night. Do something. Seriously. I'm on a rant, but anyway. But that's
I agree with that. Men have to step it up so we can fall back.
Yeah.
I always say, once you step it up, I'll fall back. But if I have to step up and you falling back, it's going to be unbalanced. I'm going to be in my masculine energy. And most men don't like women when they like that because they feel like they, too independent. But if you're not stepping up, I'm going to have to, be that way.
So I'm going to say something very controversial right now. But and we're talking about black love conscious dating. Don't get this twisted, okay? So, and I'm black and brown. But what I have found, so you need to explore that masculine energy in writing that book or doing a webinar. And if you need me to help you to build a platform for that, I will help you. But because that is just so powerful, we have to, as black women, step it up, because we have to keep going. Like, we just can't sit on our laurels and just not let anything happen. But because black men, and I said I was going to say something controversial, it's about to come out, because black men, not all of you guys, but because you have so much variety and so much coming at you, it's easy for you to step it down and to just lay back in the cut and not and not help us to lean back and be our feminine energy. And the point that I'm trying to make with that is, this is my situation. I know Arizona has a large population of interracial dating. Washington State does as well. You know, when we step it up and then you talk about us as the nagging black women because we're too strong or too aggressive, what you do cowardly is fall back into other races because they will take your shit. And
that's a good point.
We can't. And we can't, because we're still.
And I would like to add on to your point.
Go ahead.
Because I think that black women and brown women, we expect to accept the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen the same men go date out of their race and treat these women like a queen.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do anything. But we, on the other hand, we have to be the workhorse. We can't expect our date to get paid. We can't expect you to plan the date. We can't expect anything because they feel like, well, it's the bare minimum dealing with the black woman. Mm-hmm. But they'll go date other races and treat them totally different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plan dates, take them out of the country, out of town, whatever they have to do. When it comes to us, it's the bare minimum.
But I think you hit it on the head.
I don't know why is that. I don't know why.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head because of our masculine energy. Because they're allowed to be feminine. They see that as you know, as those other people doing things to please them. What they see immediately is they see the strong stature and posture of a black woman, but they don't see the stripes on her back from everything that she's had to take to be this person. They don't see that we've had to overcome, that we've had to be mother, brother, sister, uncle, you know, and even in some of our own households with our own family, we've had to raise other people. So quite naturally, we're going to be more masculine because we have to be stronger. But that doesn't mean that we're not feminine.
Most of these men come from single parent homes. They know the struggles of a black woman and what. So I feel like they should want to treat a black woman in high regard. You know, looking at your mother, she has to be a single mother. Mm-hmm. So they kind of know our struggles because we all kind of got a similar struggle. So why wouldn't you want to treat me with high regard?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. So when I moved to Arizona, I moved with a friend of mine. She lived in a different place and I lived in a different place. And both of us are African American. And she left Arizona because it was like the black men only want to date white women. And I didn't mean for this to get racial, but I'm sharing my experiences. So you take it whatever way you want. This is who I am. So I didn't have a problem dating people, probably because I do look Hispanic or Creole. I didn't have a problem, but here's a scenario. I dated a man in California and he lived in Arizona. He wasn't the reason why I went to Arizona. I just ended up gravitating to Arizona. But long story short, I met him. We dated for a little while and everything was okay. The distance became a problem. I saw him a couple of years in while I lived in Arizona and he was dating a Caucasian woman and completely out of anything that I ever would have seen him with. I mean, he was a professional boxer, and I never would have imagined him with this type of woman. But anyway, he was dating her, and then I found out that they married. And one time, 4th of July, I ended up going to a park, and they were both there. She must have known about me, and she pulled him so close to me. But I watched him watching me, and so years later, this happened over years, I had a chance to have a conversation with him. I said, why were you staring at me when you were married and had this woman? He was like, because I'm always going to desire a black woman. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting how you settled, right? And that's interesting how you would always be looking at someone else knowing that that's going to make this other person of a completely different race feel inferior, you know, and so it's the same thing. He was raised by a very strong black woman, single parent, five brothers, but then he chose something else, but yet his desire at the core of who he was always to desire this other person. almost like this forbidden fruit, right? But it wasn't forbidden. It's where you came from. It's who you are.
Right.
So
Mm.
it's interesting. I think that, if we, here's the thing, what I love, and I'm going back to this. If we get really clear on what it is we want, desire, and require, I think we can get really clear on what it is that we're willing to give and what it is that we're willing to settle for. A lot of people won't be willing to look at what they're willing to settle for, but we settle all the time. We settle all the
Right.
time. And so I challenge people to look at what they're settling for versus what they're getting. Because you think that if you're dating 5 men, and you're sleeping with 3 of them, do you really think that you're getting a woman? Do you really think that you're getting anything special? Because if she's doing that with you, she's doing that with someone else. And so what makes you think that you have your ego and your chest out because you're sleeping with 3 women? But aren't you the same? Aren't you settling?
No, they look at a double standard. A lot of times, women don't even know men are dating other women because a lot of times men don't let you know that until you find a phone number on the phone or somebody DM you on Facebook or Instagram. So sometimes women don't really know that the man is having sexual relations with different women until the women find out and contact one another. So a lot of these men are doing it, and it's like in secrecy. They really don't know that's going on.
Well, I think we all have a gut or an intuition, and I tell people, I told this to my ex, I said, you rather stop off because you're hungry and go get a Happy Meal versus knowing you've got home cooking at home. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
But a lot of times men don't really want to work. So
Yep.
it's the path of the least resistance. They don't really want to work for the woman. So if she's going to give you the first night or, on the first date, well, that's what you're going to do. And if you're going to say, well, I'm doing the 90-day rule, well, you're going to be put on the back burner because that's 90 days of waiting. And I could have her tonight. Mm-hmm. So, that's another problem.
Well, I know we got off on a tangent, and man, we weren't bashing you. We were just sharing our experience, so that's my disclaimer. Minorities, we weren't bashing anyone, and other people outside of African Americans in Black love conscious dating, we weren't bashing you either. I was simply sharing my experience, and you can always tune me out. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to speak my truth, and that was my truth. So, you know what? Talk to me about what you have going on and how you've turned this into a business and what you want my listeners to take about Black love conscious dating, take away, and then tell us how to get in touch with you.
Well, right now we have the matchmaking services that I offer. You can email me at blackloveconsciousdating@gmail.com. Right now we have a girls trip going to Aruba. Trying to have fun and just let our hair down. And that's taking place in May 2020. And that's all for right now we have going on.
All right. But one of the things, I can't remember it, you encourage people to find other members in cities that they reside or lived in. Tell us how you do that.
Well, you can go to the member list and you can type in your location, and all the members in your location should pop up. That's something that Facebook offers. You can just type in your location, and all the members in California would pop up under California.
But you do like once a week or once a month, you do a shout out or something. You're like, tell us what city you're in, and then people start engaging, right?
Yeah, I try to encourage the men to take the women out on a date in the same area, a brunch. So I kind of make a post about that once a week. State your location, and the men, if you're interested in the man, they'll take you out on a date. Kind of try to foster more connections.
Wow. Thank you Thank you very much for all that you do. And thank you for being courageous enough to step out to say, I want to create this platform for Black love and for people of like-minded spirits. So like-minded spirits, like-minded individuals, check out Black Love Conscious Dating on Facebook. And then you can also reach out to Alana in her Gmail. Give your Gmail address again.
blackloveconsciousdating@gmail.com.
Now, one of the things that I know that's interesting, and I want to really emphasize, is that she's a matchmaker. So she has these 50,000 members, and she's knowing all of these people. They have to go through an approval process to be on her site. So let's not. If you're really looking for love, let's reach out to her. Let's connect with her. She can help you. I mean, I've learned some things today that just, whew. So, help her to help you. And I know that you've had matches, right, on your site?
Yes, I have matched. We have a good bit, over 100 matches so far.
Wow. Wow. So it is working. Don't just get on Babbel or some of these other websites and, go to using her services, use her as a professional. She's done this. She's been grassroots creating this, and there have been matches. So I encourage you to do that, especially for those people that are over 40. Go out to Black Love Conscious Dating and check out this site and reach out to Alana. Alana, thank you so very much for being here. Anytime you want to jump out,
You're
hey, I want to encourage you to write something about that women's masculine energy, and I would love for you to teach a webinar about that. If you want me to help you out with that, I'm more than willing to do that. I think that
yeah, we could talk about it.
yeah, I think that we need to just explore some of the things that will help us to be in relationships, to be the best people that we can possibly be. Hey, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Ask Zena radio show on the Good News radio station. I appreciate you. Thank you for stepping out. Have a safe, happy Halloween, whatever you do. And just be cautious if you're here in California, and stay tuned to the news because the winds are going to be horrible the next couple of days, and these fires will start to spread even more. And I just want you all to be safe. Thank you very much. Peace and blessings from the Ask Zena Radio. Thank you.